Hello everyone, it is August 17th and doing a video for my supposedly few viewers. It's raining outside. Night. And if you want to find a godly Christian wife, you know, the Bible says one who finds a wife, man who finds a wife finds a good thing. And in creation, God said it is not good that man should be alone. But he did leave Adam alone for a long time, for a while, before he gave him his wife. When man was alone, God didn't say, okay, well, I'm just going to have them, you know, have him procreate by, and not be alone by, what's the word, cellular division. But, you know, he didn't, like an amoeba, just kind of, or a planarian, just kind of split in half. You know, it wasn't, I forget the term, but, you know, cells will divide that way and there'll be more cells. But he created a woman for him. And my experience has been, I asked my fiance to marry me 9 years ago, and it'll be, I think it's 10 years this fall, so it'll be 10 years that I've been waiting for my own wife. It's been a long time separate, and that has to do with government interventions. And you look at Jacob, and he waited 7 years for Rachel. He waited 7 years for Rachel, and then after that he did not get her. He got Leah, and then he waited 7 more years, a total of 14 years, to get his wife that he wanted in the first place, Rachel. 14 years, because of the situation he was in. And so when the world sees somebody that's happy, you know, a Christian that's happy in their lives, and the world and the government, you know, the government is part of the world we live in. And people can have more influence on leaders than they realize, just as the Jews had influence over Paul when they took him before the courts. They kept Paul in prison because of what was known by the Roman governor, the Roman monarch at the time, and by what was known, or in that area, not the emperor, but the king in that area. It was known that it was ridiculous, but he was waiting for a bribe from Paul. It was known, I would assume, by the Jews that were putting him in jail, that their claims were ridiculous. You know, Paul said, "I'm guilty of nothing. As you well know," he spoke to the ruler and the king and said, "I'm guilty of nothing. As you well know." So he's saying, why am I here? So there can be influences and jealousy of Christians in life. They are jealous. People were jealous of Jesus. His mother felt like he was not living up to his potential, going out and doing what he was doing. And his mother and his brothers came, and they were coming to take him. They said, he is out of his mind, because he wasn't doing what his mother wanted. So society comes in and tells you what they want you to do. And our example in the Bible is that when you won't do what society tells you to do, then come in the governing officials to tell you what to do. This happened with the apostles. This happened with Christians after Jerusalem was destroyed. The Italian Christians in Italy were being persecuted, put in arenas because they did not like the Italian Christians in their own country, and were among their own fellows. Among the Italians did not like the Italian Christians. The Jews did not like the Jewish Christians. The people of the world do not like that. And when people live godly lives, the world will not like that. When you think, well, certainly someone will appreciate the fact that I am trying to do the right thing, or even the fact that maybe I'm born again, and you say, they'll appreciate that because I treat them well. Well, people, it's reflexive, and it has to do with husband and wife. If I'm an evil person, or if you've got an evil person and they don't treat others well, and they like that lifestyle, and they look for others that seek advantage, socially, politically, or politicians seek advantage. People seek rulers, just as they sought King Agrippa. I believe it was King Agrippa, and Paul said, I'm guilty of nothing, as you well know. But the king sought to please the Jews, and the Jews sought the king in order to persecute Paul, because they did not like the Christian life he was living. And, that's in my case. The government has gotten involved and made it very difficult for me to get married. And, a woman or a man, if you're being investigated by the government, or if you're being, watched by the government, they don't want to get married to you at that time, because they don't want to be under investigation, or whatever the situation. It is contraindicated, or whatever. It's not recommended that you get involved with somebody as a friend or as a spouse if the government is involved in your life in a special way. So, anyway, Christian lives, when people make society work with crooked politicians, which we've seen, with crooked business dealings, they look for crooked people to go into business with them. Many people have, I think there was somebody, I don't mention him right now, he was accused of being in a scam. That is the way people of the world operate. They like to scam people. They like to persecute people they don't like. They like to hurt people. They like to gain an advantage. You go to a used car dealer. They're not there. They're saying, well, I'm going to give you a good car and give you a fair deal. That's what they say. But that's not what they do. They want your money. They could sell you a lemon, and they're perfectly happy, very happy that they got this lemon off their hands, and they got your money, which is good, and gave you something that's bad for it. There's a Southern expression, I don't know if it may be an English expression as well, buying a pig in a poke. They want to, that basically means that they want to give you crap and get your good solid money that's more valuable than what they sell you. That's the way the world works. When families get together, they fight. And I remember my grandmother, she would love to pick and make people angry and make it in a socially acceptable way, in which they had to respond in a socially acceptable way. They couldn't lash out, because then she'd say, well, I don't know why you're lashing out. It was a game. People like to play games.